Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Challenge 40, Episode 9. Recap and review with your faves. It's Reality Unloaded Podcast, and it's your girl, Keeks.
I'm Lina.
And I'm Brandon.
And again, welcome to the recap and review for the Challenge 40, Episode 9. I wish I could say that we're halfway through the season, but we're not there yet. Almost, but yes, so far away. And I just want to say we're going to dedicate this live recap and review to Rachel. Rachel, you
You did that, girl. Yeah.
are number one. Okay? If I could play Superstar by Usher right now, I would play that for you, Rachel, because you deserve that. You ate this up. This whole episode, I said, yes, Rachel, I agree with everything you're saying. Everything. You did that. You are a queen, sis. Wow. We are so happy that the Vacation Alliance is now crumbling at the hands of Rachel.
Yeah.
This is wonderful.
Honestly, the Vacation Alliance was crumbling at their own hands. Honestly, they were.
That too.
This episode showed us there's a lot of cracks in that foundation. So
Yes.
Rachel just kind
definitely.
of lifted the veil.
She did. But before we get into the episode, shout out to those of y'all in the comments, Sophie, Dabu, anybody else that's in the comments right now in the live. Thank you for watching. Make sure to hit that like button, share, comment, and subscribe. Make sure to follow us at Reality Unloaded Pod on Instagram and Reality Unloaded Podcast on TikTok to catch our reels. Our Casey reel last week went crazy. People are still commenting. I'm glad that we are not alone in our feelings for Casey. And I'm sure more of that will ring true with this recap because we have a lot of things to say about Casey this episode. But yeah, so without further ado, we are gonna get to it. And we start off the first half of the episode. Rachel and Corey walk back from elimination. They beat their opponents. It was again a great matchup, great elimination episode. And Ryan talks about volunteering to be a target to help protect Rachel. And I said, yeah, Ryan, good. I'm sorry. Like,
I mean, it was about time. Like,
right.
Oh my God.
The clock was ticking.
Exactly. And then Ryan also mentions like there's a dilemma of him being targets with Laurel. On one hand, it's to ensure that she will make sure that she won't lose because she's a target. She doesn't have many allies in the house because no one is really protecting her or working with her aside from Bananas, which we've seen. Bananas has been up Laurel's this entire season on and off of the show.
He's been obsessed with Laurel. Let's just say that.
Right. And then we see Tori bragging that Vacation Alliance has not seen an elimination at all and that they need to maintain their protection and pretty much that either Era 3 or Era 4 need to win the next challenge. Can we talk about the fact that they were graying out the hell out of Anissa? Ain't no mention about Anissa losing her. I said, dang, they really don't give a damn about you, Anissa. Okay?
That I peeped that. I thought that was funny.
Yeah, that was
Anissa's
funny as hell.
old news. She's gone. She's old news. Next.
Right. I was like, dang, like they did Anissa dirty. But hey, Vacation Alliance, they're still hanging in there. It's Casey, Tori, Josh, Devin, and their minions because that's what they are, especially Michelle. She is Vacation Alliance numero uno fan, which is insane to me.
With the sign and everything.
Literally, like it was so bad. Then we see Josh mention about being locked in with the Vacation Alliance, but also having that friendship with Rachel, not Laurel. Oh my gosh, with Rachel. And then Laurel talks about how she is the best and comes to every challenge to win and thinks about the money second.
That actually doesn't surprise me, to be honest with you. Like, I definitely see Laurel as a big ego girl. So I think the win almost means more to her than the money. That, like, that bragging right, being able to say, like, she did it, she's the best. So that didn't shock me too much.
Yeah, I would agree. As we know, like Laurel literally like salivates over the fact that she wins. And it doesn't necessarily mean money, just like in general, I think her obsession with being that top girl, actually that top challenger in general, is what she really cares about in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could agree with that for sure. And then Rachel mentions she has little leveraging power since she is the only one from Era 1 left and she desperately needs a win. Of course. Yes, absolutely do, Rachel. We knew that it was like you had to be in it to win it, or else like you were going to be sent into elimination over and over again, especially because she's proven to be such a great competitor in the game. But before we continue and go into the daily challenge, hey, what's up, everybody? Hey, Sophie. Yes, we'll talk about the karma vote later. We have to talk about it because she's not in it for the money. I don't know about all that. Yeah, I don't know either. I'm a little hey G, thank you for joining. I appreciate ya. Jolly. Hey, what's up? Give me my money, say right. And we still don't know how many people are going to be in the final this season. Yeah, Sophie. We'll highlight some of y'all comments. Not all of them, but keep it going in the comments. Talk amongst yourselves. We will see anything. If there's anything that is like super important for us to bring up, we will definitely highlight that. But without further ado, we're going to get right into the daily challenge called Bottoms Up, which I thought was hilarious. Brandon, I don't mean to tell you to take it away, but
Yeah,
Take
I
it
was laughing
away.
because it was funny when they said the name Bottoms Up. I think it was Derek that mentioned, oh, it's kind of funny that Ryan is up for elimination. Well, not elimination, but is a target this week, and the elimination is called, or the challenge is called Bottoms Up. So it was funny to me. But anyway, so the game is called Bottoms Up. And the rules are basically that the teams attempt to answer 27 math questions, with each question being displayed for only a brief period of time before the next one is displayed. And then for each equation the teams answer correctly, they receive either a handhold or a foothold for the next part of the challenge. And afterwards, the teams have to enter a shipping container above water where the walls are mounted with the handholds or footholds that they earn. And once the bottom of the container opens up, the teams have to hold themselves up for as long as possible. And the team that holds themselves up the longest basically wins the whole entire challenge. And then just a reminder of the targets. The Era 1 targets are Rachel because she's the only one left. The Era 2 targets are Laurel and Ryan. The Era 3 targets are Tori and Devin. And then the Era 4 targets are Casey and Kylan. So how did you guys, because I know we love to critique these dailies, how did you guys feel about this one in general?
I didn't mind it. Like, I didn't think it was the most interesting. But I did think it was a good combination of brains and brawn. Like, they had to show their strength. They also had to use their intelligence and work really together as a team. I thought it was a good challenge overall. It was interesting though, I have to say, because I thought Era 4 was going to do a lot better. Kylan the calculator surprised me a bit, I have to say.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I definitely love the fact that they at least added a different element aside from them just having to hang in the container. And obviously like to kind of like earn the pegs, or whatever you want to call it. I've never been rock climbing, guys. Don't judge me. Or wall climb. None of that. Okay. Actually, no, I lied. Back in college,
I was gonna say we definitely
did
had a
have
rock
that.
wall.
We did have a rock wall. But in general, I did like that.
We're college sweethearts, y'all, just in case you
Yes,
didn't
we are.
up.
We all went to the same school. Don't start looking us up though. Like, don't be weird like that. Don't start naming my college in the comments, bro. But anyway, I was a little bit worried for Rachel because I was like, dang, I don't really remember if Rachel's all that great at math. But I'm like, I'm hoping she is, especially if she got kids. Maybe she's the mom with the good math knowledge. But I
Honestly,
wasn't
if
too
you
sure.
really think about it, like she really only needed at most
Most
4 pegs or
Yeah.
what
yeah,
footholds and
yeah,
handholds, because at the end of the day, they're playing to make sure each of the teammates have enough.
right.
Stay
And
up.
as we saw, a lot of them were failing at that. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's how I felt too. I was like, okay, technically she doesn't really have to answer that much.
Yeah.
But I was still worried for her because I was like, she only has herself to rely on while they have Kylan, who's a mathematician, as a hobby, like doing all this calculator work.
yeah, but like
Um,
the fact that they didn't really, because I felt like, okay, don't depend all on Kylan because they go
right.
fast. So when you're calculating in your head and you're putting the answer, you've already missed like 1 or 2 of them.
Who did
So
you want to help him, Michelle or Olivia?
one of them.
Well, Olivia wasn't
Girl.
helping a damn thing. Did you see
He
Olivia? She
wasn't
looked
doing
Or Thea.
anything.
Thea was in the back. Olivia was in the back. Michelle was just looking confused as hell. It was really Casey and Kylan doing any of the work for Era
honestly,
4.
Theo probably couldn't see with his one eye, honestly.
But
They
Um,
oh god. Oh god.
kudos,
They should
though.
have
I'm
they should have had a
just saying.
rotation of who takes turns, basically.
Anyway, but I do want to also say, like, I
Right
felt
here.
Cara when she was like, I stopped liking math when we stopped using numbers. Hey, say.
Correct.
Yeah, I will say this too. I was laughing when Cara was like, math is just so rude. Felt. And then
I
the
understood
dichotomy
that.
So
between
I
her and
understood
Laura,
that.
like, it's so easy to add, just add
I
stuff. And
felt
it's
like
like,
Laurel because I was like,
okay.
math is not that hard at
Matt,
all.
bye. When they started
The
doing
equations that they had were not that
when
hard.
they started doing the what's that symbol
E
mean?
equals
No,
34
The
plus
division?
36.
no, the little
Oh, the square root.
God,
The
the
square
square
root.
Square
root.
root? Oh.
That was
I literally
easy.
I
Yeah, that was a
literally
little-
turned to AR and I was like, wait, what, how do you do that? Like, what does that mean? Like, what do you do again
Oh
to
my
get
God.
that answer? Like,
I'm dead.
no.
Well, we know, Lina, if you were to ever go on, you would be screwed if there was
know.
any elimination with math.
Correct.
So,
Correct. I would have to practice all over again.
right. But yeah, I liked it. It wasn't that bad, but I was kind of bored. I will say that. I was a little bored. It was just going too fast. That's why I felt bad for Rachel. But you're right, Brendan. She only needed 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very true. Rachel having a strong season. Absolutely. What's up, Brandon? Thank you for joining us again. Yes, gamma square root. Thank you.
Thank you. I mean,
Who
like,
told them
that thing?
who told them to add letters? Right, Jolly? Like, what's going on? But yes, hey, Bloody Money. Thank you
Hi,
for joining
Bloody
us.
Money.
What's good? But all right, let's get back into the daily challenge. Go ahead, Brendan.
All right. So some of the highlights that we see during the daily challenge are for Era 4, they feel very confident because they have Kylan, who we were talking about is known as the calculator. And we also, it was funny because we see Bananas is just yelling out numbers and pretending like he knows what to do when really he's like, I'm not a math genius. Like, I'm just going to yell this out and pretend I'm helping while
I'm
Laurel's
not gonna
literally,
lie.
doing
That
amazing.
I would have been Bananas. I would be a master of disguise, making my team think I'm so useful and I really provide nothing. So, hi.
Mind you, she was the valedictorian.
It doesn't need to mean that math was my strong suit. I did do good at math. I do have to say though, I surprisingly in my entire like high school and college education did really good in math. I think I was just really good at memorizing what to do, but not actually really great at applying post. But I couldn't tell you math now.
Yeah, definitely not now. And apparently they like have different processes of
Yeah,
like
they do
doing
math
the
way
equation. I'm like,
Yeah.
differently now.
listen, they even sing the alphabet differently now. So like, I can't. I can't keep up.
Yeah.
But yeah, so at the end, we see that for the first section, we see that error 1 got 6 correct, which, by the way, for everyone to know, was just Rachel. Error 2, they got 17 correct. Error 3, they got 14 correct. And then error 4 got 14 correct as well. Which was a little bit surprising because I don't look at error 3 as the smartest of the bunch, if I will say.
Yeah.
So seeing error 4 and error 3 get the same amount was pretty surprising.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
But again, I think Devin is good at math. Isn't Devin like good at math? Isn't that his thing?
Yeah, so why didn't they do better?
Right.
Whatever.
Why did they lose? If they're so
Whatever.
great. No. I'm just whacking they asses today. And then Casey, obviously, she's like, she wants to get the most pegs and like a comfortable spots, and she's the target and wants to avoid going against Vacation Alliance members. And I'm like, foreshadowing, we know something's about to be brewing because you're setting it up that way. And I want to talk like really briefly about like the time stamps, right? Because we do get to see a little bit of the time shown. So like when Rachel goes on, we see that she is, I want to say, I think I wrote the times. Hold on. So when Rachel goes first,
like
we see
5
her
something, I think.
It was like 5.5 minutes or so. So I'm like, okay, so she's holding on for a while by herself. And she says that it's hot in there. I was curious, like, are they going to try to shake? I think somebody had mentioned it. I believe it was Gamma, that maybe they would have like shaken up the container or something like that. But that would have been really messed up and probably dangerous, since they weren't hooked onto anything. They were just dropping into the water. Yes, I kind of expected the container to start rocking after 5-minute mark. And then we see error 4 go next and all drop minus Casey, but it's also about 6 minutes or 5.5 minutes when we see the time as well. And then Jordan and Devin, by the time we see the minute marker, it says about 3 minutes, like 3 minutes and 5 seconds. And then literally once it hits 3 minutes and 5 seconds, Jordan drops. And I was cracking up at this moment. Bloody Money touched on it. Nehemiah doing the yoga, like manifesting Jordan dropping. That was funny. A cute little moment. And then obviously Devin's trying to hold on, but it doesn't, clearly he didn't hold on for that much longer. And then we see Nehemiah for error 2.
Killing it.
Doing such a great job. And
Yeah.
honestly, like Nehemiah, like I hope you've been getting your dues and your flowers and your comments and all that stuff, because you've been doing a really great job this season. And I feel like you're definitely one of those like that is going to be considered like a dark horse. Because I don't think anybody's really noticing Nehemiah is really strong. And he's
I think Derek even made the comment where he was like, oh, he's really showing why he should be here. So I don't know if there's like stuff that we didn't see where they had conversations of like, why is he here? But I think Nehemiah has always been great. I think he's just been dealt the worst cards on the challenge. So
I agree. Yeah. I actually never understand why Nehemiah's never given his flowers. Yeah, he is funny. He seems like a really good challenger. And like, I feel like people are always surprised by him. And I don't know why, because he always performs pretty well.
Yeah, I don't understand either. And Nehemiah is also reviewing the show, I believe, doing like his own recaps on his Patreon. So if you want to hear more from Nehemiah, definitely go and support him. But when we see Nehemiah holding on for dear life, we see that the timestamp, it says about 8.5 minutes. So I said, okay, Nehemiah's been up there for a while. At first, the first time watching it, I thought it said 18 minutes. And I said, 18 minutes. This is crazy. Yeah. And then I watched it back and I said, okay, 8.5 minutes still like going strong for him to be doing that majority by himself. I'm sure he
Are
was
you surprised because if I was him and they had Laurel on the team with all the tension that she's been providing lately or causing lately, are you surprised that he was actually trying his hardest to make sure that she was essentially safe?
No,
Not really.
no.
Yeah, because he never, like, I feel like even when drama was brewing, he never was the one to talk about like throwing an elimination. And also, you know, Ryan was there, and I think he's friendly with Ryan. Like, he has a history of Ryan because they've played older seasons together. So I wasn't surprised at all, to be honest.
Yeah. I don't think Nehemiah would ever be the type to just throw an elimination for
Yeah.
any reason. Like, he's never given me that impression. So I wasn't surprised that he was actually trying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely didn't expect him to. It would have been cool for him to do it and be like, payback's a bitch, you know.
Yeah.
But I just never see Nehemiah going about it that way. I feel like that's so against his character.
Yeah.
He's so namaste, you know, yogi and all that stuff. I just feel like it wouldn't be his style.
But Rachel, y'all, she
mhm.
dominated that. Like, she really dominated that. And it's funny because even when she started, she says, I know exactly the body positioning as a rock climber with experience that I need to hold on to be able to maximize my time. And girl killed that. Like, she showed up.
Yeah.
That's the one comment. That's definitely the one comment that, like, I have to give Michelle. She was like, we had to eliminate literally the whole cast to get them their first W. And I mean,
because Rachel even said it, like, she's in the best shape of her life. Like, she knows that she can win. Like, so I think what Rachel needed was to just be by herself because her team was dragging her down.
Yeah. No, literally. And Rachel literally was like body distribution. She knows how she has to hang on this. Like, as soon as she started talking about that, I said, oh, she's got this in the bag. Like, and I think somebody had mentioned it. I can't remember who in the comments, sorry, but that Rachel have won if Era 1 was still there with more people on it. No.
I think it depends. I think
it would depend. She would have hung
like,
on.
If CT was still there, and I know he's really good at math. So, like, if CT was there and they would have gotten enough pegs, then yes, possibly. Because again, like, when I think about Era 1, like, individually they're very strong. So I think Brad would have held on for a while. I think Lina would have hung on for a while. CT maybe not so much, but Derek would have held on for a while. Rachel
would have been going down.
I don't know about Derek or I think their legs or their injuries.
Their injuries. Okay. Correct. Yeah. But I mean, if they were in like tip top shape. So yeah, actually, I don't know. I think Era 1 could have actually pulled this off as the win.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, hey, at least we know Rachel did that. So, and we are so happy. So again, let's give it up for Rachel, the superstar, the MVP of this episode, and hopefully the rest of the season, okay? Because she ate that up by herself. She held the hell on. And then moving on from that, we go back to the players being at the house. Michelle being super annoying, making it about herself, complaining that it's about to be a horrible week. Honestly, I was over Michelle, y'all. Like, if you like her, cool.
Yeah, I'm glad you do. Annoyed me this week.
She annoyed me so much.
Welcome to the freaking club, y'all. Long overdue.
But go ahead, Lina, expand on that. So, like, how did you feel about Michelle talking about that, complaining that she's gonna lose out on somebody?
There was multiple instances in this episode that if Michelle was in front of me, I would have screamed. She just makes me cringe. I don't know how it became about her. Like, oh, it's such a terrible week to be Michelle. And I was like, oh my God, it's a terrible life to be Michelle, honey. Like, you're missing out the point. Like, it's just not working. No, she actually really annoyed me. We'll talk about it later. But even when she was kind of going in with Josh on telling him like what he should have said to Rachel.
And she's not even part of the alliance. That would have pissed me off. It's like when friends are arguing and then the boyfriend or girlfriend tries to like get involved, like get out of here. I don't like that.
Correct, Bloody Money.
I
Honey,
don't.
this book has been read, has been shredded, thrown into the fireplace, and it keeps coming back. I don't know what else to do.
It's literally like a cockroach. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, it could
It's
survive
insane.
it all.
Yeah, I was not feeling Michelle. She was pissing me off. And we'll talk about that little comment that she made to Josh later, because we're gonna be defending Josh. I cannot believe that in my heart I have space for Josh and to defend him today. Like, this is crazy. That's how you know, like, these people tick me off so bad. But anyway, we get to see Era 4 and Era 3 pressuring Josh to talk to Rachel and convince her to not target Casey, since Casey is Josh's number one. But here in this moment, Josh tells us, like, Rachel is his trainer back home. They build a great rapport and friendship, and he is not trying to push her and influence her game, but he's going to try his best to fight for Casey. And there's even a comment that, like, Theo makes, that he's like, oh, let's see if, your friendship will actually mean something. I forgot what it was. This is your chance to prove
friendships.
No, this is your chance to prove you're actually useful as a friend for once. That's what he said. And I said, oh, that. And then you saw Casey cackling as hard as she did. I said, nah. That right there, I would have been like, Rachel, put her ass in. Why you cackling so hard and you my best friend? Why you cackling so hard?
Right.
Best friend.
Right. You gotta read between those lines, honey. Friendships are a real surface in this damn show.
And Josh whacked Theo real quick. That you got a lot to say for somebody that fell first. Real fast.
He did. He did.
Theo's so funny for instigating that, though. Like, yo, I can't. Theo in his one eye.
I mean, it's true. It's true. He's not lying.
So then we have Rachel talking about the targets, and at this point they're at the little bar scene or wherever club that they go to, and I just want to say that this conversation between Rachel and Casey is so funny. Brandon, please, like, take us into this conversation. Set the scenery, because I was appalled that Casey even tried to angle it this way.
So she basically goes in by trying to convince Rachel that, they've taken care of Era 1 this whole entire time. Like, Era 4 has always been there for them. And I'm literally looking at it like...
Sorry, Brendan, hold on. Before you keep going, I was going to highlight that comment, but I was like, Keeks, you ready to break it down again for us? Why are you calling
somebody in the comments put G on as to why I keep saying one eye when it comes to Theo. Please. I am not going to comment on it, but please let her know.
Y'all ain't right.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, going back to Casey, she's trying to convince Rachel that, Era 4 has literally been there for her throughout this entirety of the game. And, like, we have a good thing going, so let's keep doing this. And I'm literally watching it like, if they were there for Era 1 this whole entire time, why is there only one person in Era 1 left?
Oh, Brandon, that's a really good analysis that you came up with. Yeah. I really like it. I completely agree with that. Yeah. Okay.
But, like, really, like, Casey, you won Big Brother. You could have came up with a better pitch than that. Like, I don't think she thought this one through at all. But I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts on this whole situation?
Go ahead, Lina.
Honestly, I would have to say my thoughts mirror yours. It's like you took the words right out of my mouth, actually. So I have nothing to add.
I guess a lot of people have mutual thoughts.
I guess
so. My opinion on this is, Casey, you spent all this time bashing Jenny about her connections and relationships, and that is why you're so protected. You're not called out as a target, right? Where was it when it came to building connections with Rachel? Because clearly it was not there. None of that happened. You was not doing any connecting. Let's be for real. Like, it's just funny how all of a sudden it was an unspoken alliance, right? What about the alliance with your own team member, era
How
member.
about, okay, if it was such an unspoken alliance when literally Rachel and Derek were begging not to go in, why wouldn't you guys protect them? They were literally the last of their group. Where was this unspoken alliance when they needed it the most?
Right. And another thing, Devin, because earlier in the episode, I think at the start, he's spending 15 however many hours on the bed. Why you would spend that time to speak to Rachel? And this is another thing, right? Y'all know that the game becomes an individual game eventually. Y'all know this. Y'all played this game plenty of times, Vacation Alliance. Y'all know this very well, that it becomes an individual game at a certain point. Y'all should have been building those connections regardless. Y'all know Rachel's strengths, and y'all know that y'all could have connected with her. So it's just, to me, y'all dropped the ball, and this is why I'm going to be defending Josh later on. Because it makes no sense. Why is it that Josh has to be the one, like he said, to have to pick a side or have to use his connections, his relationships to help everybody else's game, but nobody's helping Josh.
Yeah.
Nobody's helping themselves.
Yeah.
This is very true.
Yes, they got too comfortable. And you could tell they got too comfortable because Devin was on his ass for freaking 10 hours.
Yeah.
Chilling.
And from what we saw in that elimination, you should have gone and done some type of like dumbbell lifts or something, because
yeah, I mean, I think the only person that actually was logical in this whole situation was Laurel. Like, she talked to Rachel and she said, okay, what were the promises that were made? What happened? How did that conversation go with Casey? And, you know, Rachel tells her, and Laurel lays it straight. Like, look, she has so many other people that are literally going to be her number one. I never came for you personally. You never came for me personally. So if I have an IOU going forward, I am fine with that, because I know eventually we're going to split up. So
yeah.
logic.
And you know, it's true. And Josh, you know, Josh definitely does try to talk to Rachel. You know, Rachel is assessing, like, even at the beginning, she said, like, at first I was going to just protect Ryan. He's my best friend in the house, whatever. But logically, at one point, she did think about putting Laurel in to get like a Laurel Tori matchup. She was thinking, is Kylan good for my game? Is, you know, Casey is not good for her game. She's not stupid. Like, we saw through that so easily. Like, Tori's going to protect her. Devin is going to protect her. First of all, Rachel couldn't even stand Devin from the get. Like,
and
honestly, I think
sense.
like, yeah, I think at this point, Rachel is looking at it like, okay, the era 2 girls, they rock with me, so I don't have problems with them. And you know who's gonna join them soon? Jenny, because everyone. And when that happens, there's gonna be problems.
Yeah,
that whole Vacation Alliance is gonna crumble.
For sure.
Yes,
but we do see Josh. We do see Josh try to talk to Rachel. He does try to, you know, talk about Casey, protect Casey. But in the end of the day, he mentions it earlier. He does have a good friendship with Rachel. She is one of his trainers. And he felt like in the end of the day, her points that she were making was valid and that she needed to protect herself. You know, she is in the game alone. Keeks, I know you had mentioned that, you know, there were some edits that threw off the way that Josh was portrayed when he talked to Casey. Do you want to get into that a little bit?
So apparently, like, according to Josh, and you guys can check Josh's Twitter, Josh said, I understand tonight's edit and I'll let the producers run with whatever narrative, but I did talk to Rachel and try for a while, but I respect and love her too much to try and influence her game. And then obviously we'll touch on this a little bit later, but he was called the liability by Casey, and then he was given 2 karma points by Devin later on, which was very surprising for him to hear. And he's like, you know, giving me 2 karma points is crazy. And calling him a liability is crazy, which I totally understand. And I hope you're realizing, Josh, that these people are really not your friends. Or at least they're fronting. They are definitely upset with you and holding resentment, even though they say they know the difference between game and personal, but clearly they don't.
Yeah.
They're not
but-
really each other's friends. They went
friends,
on
yeah.
vacations with each other.
Right,
and
right, right.
That's
Yeah.
how it all came up. It's all a facade. Like,
I
they're
can't
not
believe,
best friends.
and somebody said this, but Gamer Rev, they owe you royalties. They owe you something, a check for coming up with the term vacation alliance. And the way that production is making sure that they use this like crazy.
Yes.
Oh my god, to the point that they have a little vacation alliance handshake. It's
Oh my
sick.
god.
But anyway, yeah, so again, Josh did try. Rachel even mentions it, like, you know, she expected Josh to try a little bit harder, but I think everybody knows, like, Rachel was not putting in Ryan. Like, I think people are also
Yeah.
forgetting that Rachel's not putting one of her numbers into an elimination. That is dumb. That will
Yeah.
not work for her in the end. Why would she do that? Like, yes, she could
That's
have
that's a real alliance.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
That
a
goes
real alliance.
years back. Yeah. So
Laurel and Tori, yes, that would have been a great matchup because you would have gotten a great competitor out. But it's not like they didn't do that just now with having the vacation alliance implode on one another, you know? So I feel like it all worked out in the end. I mean, what really could have Josh have done? I don't get what they could have expected to happen. If you didn't want to be put in, you should have been building that relationship instead of depending on Josh. Exactly.
100. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand again what they were thinking and why they weren't working on building these connections with her as the sole player from her era, or realizing when those numbers were dwindling, hey, we should really try to do something. But hey, they failed to get that together. I don't know.
Yeah, and Josh definitely is playing with his heart. Like, I'll give him that. But I feel like Josh has always played with his heart. He's always played a very emotional game. And that has either hurt him, it's helped him at times. I'll give him that because it does bring him far through like his friendships that he creates. But in the end of the day, he just always has too many IOUs. And that's what ends up hurting him.
And then another thing that we see after Josh talks to Rachel, we see Tori talk about herself and like how she struggles to have confidence in this game and how she wonders if she's gonna be a champion again. And you know, it was a moment of vulnerability for Tori in this moment. I'm sure it's very intimidating going up with a lot of legends, challenge legends. And you know, I've been very critical of her and her track record. But I'm glad that she had the self-awareness to realize that yeah, she is falling a little short when it comes to
look at you,
being a champion.
Keeks.
Wow. I
Growth.
think growth, like we're
I'm
protecting Josh. We're giving Tori her kudos. Like next you're going to be
I
defending
said Laurel did a
Casey.
great job. We're just
Wow.
waiting for you, Lina, to defend
Michelle.
Yeah,
what's her name?
don't wait too long. Don't hold your breath on that one. Maybe another 10 seasons.
Oh
in.
man. Yeah, so that was interesting though. Now
We are in a multiverse, Sophie. We really are.
Honestly, I'm
There's
feeling
a super
nice
moon today. The super moon is
Yes.
affecting Keeks. There we go.
Hey, it is what it is. But let's move on to the deliberation. Lita, do you want to take that away?
Yeah. So in the deliberation, we really kind of see all of the targets have a chance to talk about defending their point, what they can give Rachel. You know, we start out with Devin and Tori, and they actually don't want to call out any of the challengers. Devin calls them dogs. Tori gives the kudos to the females, and they say that they respect Rachel's decision, which you know, knowing Devin as a player, I was surprised he wasn't trying to do his like witty, like talking a lot and manipulating.
Same.
So I was very surprised by that. You know, Ryan starts by really playing the friendship card, telling Rachel had he won, he would have protected her, no doubt about it. Laurel does the strategy of, hey, I don't owe anybody anything. And they all have pretty deep established alliances, whereas I don't have anything. So if you protect me, I can easily protect you. And I mean, I think we said this, like that was a really smart move on Laurel. Like she won me over.
Yeah, like she again said what needed to be said in order to be protected, even though she wasn't gonna go in regardless. But at the end of the day, her argument was way stronger than the other two. So
Mm-hmm. And I also found it funny when she asked Devin and Tori like who would they prefer, and Devin's like, I'm not gonna throw anybody under the bus kind of thing. I was just like, oh my god, like here you go with your ego again. Like, do you want Ryan? Yes or no? Say that you want Ryan. If you really want Ryan, why aren't you not saying that?
I think he didn't want to upset Rachel. Because I think if he would have done that, it would have pissed her off even more. So he probably
She
was
already
just like,
him.
Yeah, right. Okay. Then we move on to Miss Casey, who's talking about how Arafor has never targeted Rachel, and that they have looked out for her as much as they can. And she does not want to go against her brother, which is kind of that term of endearment that she uses with Tori. Yeah, and again, like Brandon had said earlier, it's a very ironic statement because Rachel is running solo. So if you were really looking out for her, you guys didn't do the greatest job. And then Kylan, which to me, honestly, kind of is holding the argument for Arafor because Casey's doing a terrible job. You know, he makes the point of saying that, you know, Arafor has won the most daily challenges. They have been head of the table most frequently. So protecting them in turn would protect Rachel and they would look out for her. I think for me, like even during the deliberation, like my one thing was like, Arafor, your argument doesn't make sense. You've been working with Era 3 this whole time.
Entire time.
So you can't protect Rachel if you're gonna always protect Era 3. It doesn't make sense.
They needed a new plan.
It's a
the plan is
faulty
stale
defense.
at this point.
It was a mess, but
yeah.
That was and honestly,
yeah. And I was laughing at Rachel's face while Casey was talking. She was like, girl, like, what are you trying to say?
And to me, it's like almost the biggest form of disrespect for you to talk such bullshit in someone's face who's played the game for so many years, who's not stupid, who has her own girl alliance, who like knows what a true alliance is because she would never say Veronica. She would never say Tina. So who are you trying to bullshit?
I just wanted like Rachel to do like idiot sandwich, like to Casey's face, like idiot sandwich, like when this guy did it to Julie from BB from Hell's Kitchen.
I
forgot blanking on his name. I was just Gordon Ramsay.
Yes.
When he did that, and he's just like idiot sandwich, like that's how it felt. Like, Casey, what are you even talking about? And also this brother. I'm over it. Shut up.
You were doing so well, Keeks. You were.
The brother thing pissed me off. Oh my god. Brother, Dave. I was like, oh god. What is happening? I love you, brother. It literally felt like Hulk Hogan was on the challenge. Like, I was confused.
Yeah, it was a mess.
Sorry, guys. I had to let that out. I was being too nice. I'm a hater, apparently.
No, G hated it too. She's in the boat with us. We were not fans.
Exactly. Thank you. Tori did a Hulk Hogan shit. Yeah, correct. I don't know. Maybe they watched WWE together. I don't know. But I was over it. Maybe it's because Casey likes wearing bandanas. I have no idea.
Sure.
But yeah, so let's move on from that whack ass deliberation, because literally Rachel was like, yeah, I guess I've heard everything. I've heard enough. And we get to the other half of the episode. Rachel tells Kylan and Casey, pretty much, babes, y'all are going up for elimination. It's y'all. Sorry. Well, was it really love?
I was thinking the same thing, sis. I was like, oh, I don't know if it was love. I think she gave her a little sparkle of like hope, but I don't know if it was love.
I don't think it was love. But that's okay.
Did you see the little face that Casey made when Rachel was walking out after telling them?
No, what did she do?
You didn't see it?
Oh, the
She
little
looked like,
like
mm-hmm,
yeah.
mm-hmm.
Oh.
It was probably for jokes, but I
How did
peeped
y'all
it.
feel
I was
about
like,
her telling them early? LOL. I wouldn't waste no time. Listen, you're
Yeah,
going in.
I would have said that at the Deliberation. I'd be like, stop wasting your breath. You going in. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, I would have told them at Deliberation too. Yeah, we don't have to wait any longer. I didn't catch the face. Maybe I did catch the face, but maybe I was just a
You
little
probably
too
were
annoyed
so
by
annoyed
Keeks.
by her that you just
Yeah,
were like, yeah.
I ignored her. But hey, then we see like Kylan, obviously, like he doesn't hold anything against Rachel selecting him. It doesn't make Rachel his enemy per se, but she's also not an ally that he needs to be looking out for. And I said, okay, so you're gonna be playing the Vacation Alliance game as well.
Clearly.
Right. And then Devin wants to make Josh feel the heat, feel the wrath of their eras and remorse that they got chosen to go into elimination against Devin and Tori. And I'm over here like, how the hell are y'all spinning this on Josh? And even
They
we
were
even have like
grasping at straws. They had nothing.
well, he even called his game sloppy, and I'm like, Devin,
His game was sloppy. All of their
what are
games
you
were sloppy.
boring,
saying? Yeah,
And then
with your
sloppy.
showman.
and then Michelle telling Josh that he should have like done more and could have threatened to cut all ties with her. Like I'm literally like, Michelle.
I don't think we could say sloppy without you bringing in that meme.
the Abby Lee Miller meme.
Good.
Boring, sloppy. When she says that, she
Oh
was
my
so
God.
evil. Oh my God, that lady. Anyway, yeah. So I didn't understand why they were coming at Josh so crazy. I said, Josh, get behind me, Josh.
Yo,
Like,
facts. And then Michelle decides to like support her showman's person, telling Josh that he should have threatened to cut ties with Rachel if she picks Casey, since Casey is his number one. What? Should we play back your scenes, Michelle? Are you the one to like make threats, honey? Listen, I'll give Brandon credit with one thing. She definitely was a mastermind at one point, but she hides behind so much, you know, like she might have good strategy, but she likes for other people to take the fall for her strategy. And to me, that's what really gives me the ick with her gameplay.
I mean, I think she has her era down packed. It was just her trying to defend her man, basically.
right. I said, this is not about, she kept mentioning Kylan, and I said, stop mentioning Kylan, because the way that you're playing this game is to save Devin. And yes, honestly, I'm sorry, Banana Man, he called it out. You are definitely playing the game for Devin, regardless if you want to or not. But you and these rose-colored glasses that you have on for Devin are literally making you play the game for him, and you are much more capable than that. Like, and she's always had that issue too. Michelle had a whole ass alliance on 39 and still flopped.
Not even had a whole ass alliance. She literally had a pecking order and whole ass flopped when she was an individual game. And you know what's so funny? Because even at the end of this episode, when TJ announced it was an individual game, sorry, I'm jumping to the end. What was her first reaction? She was scared. She was like, I don't want to have to show what I could do individually because you can't do shit.
What? Right. No. We're not gonna downplay Michelle like that, because at the end of the day, she did do most of the stuff and the work in season 39. We can't just sit here and say that she didn't mastermind, and she technically that was an individual game. So we know what she could do in an individual game.
Someone get me a martini while Brandon is talking, because
but can I also make a comment, because somebody pointed it out? When did Kylan and Michelle make up from what happened last season? Thank you, Sophie.
Well, he has no choice. He has no choice.
No choice. His back is up against the wall, right? He's definitely the main one politicking, because Theo and Olivia are too busy in La La Land falling in love with each other, you know, all these things, to be doing anything else. And I'm over here like, Kylan, but like,
honestly, I'm surprised Olivia's even still there. I forgot.
Oh, listen, let's not get into that. But let's. She barely got any airtime, and that's how it's gonna be for a while.
And it can stay that way.
Yeah, and it can stay that way. But yeah, I did not appreciate Michelle yelling at Josh or getting loud with Josh. I thought that was very just wild of her. And I was like, hold on, sis. Do you want your era to do good? Yes or no? Because at the end of the day, Devin is still somebody you're gonna have to go up against.
Exactly, and
Eventually.
that's exactly what I
Yeah.
was thinking. Like, why are you making it so known that you're fighting for a different era when you have to worry about your own?
Right. I would have preferred if she played a game where she's like, yeah, I'm gonna have my man. But if he gets out and it's not my own doing, even better. Even better.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so crazy because even Casey did a quick switch up right there on Josh, calling him a liability, saying he plays a selfish game,
That
mentioned
pissed
him
me off
being
more.
dropped from the alliance. I was like, oh,
So now
okay.
you're threatening him, like, not being in the alliance now because what?
Because
Exactly.
what, you have to prove yourself? You have to go down in an elimination that's not a final and actually prove yourself
Then those are not
why
your
you were
friends.
ever a champion in the first place? Girl, bye.
Yeah. And that was
Nobody want
another
to be in
thing
that
too.
alliance anyway.
That was another thing that Rachel had pointed out too. Like, why are y'all so afraid from going down in the sand? Y'all knew y'all was gonna have to go down there eventually. It can't be the same people over and over again. You know, like that's just not how things go. And I was just very surprised that Casey was talking all this mess about Josh. Mind you, Josh is over here crying about her and all these things. And like, granted, like I know that that can annoy a lot of people. And Josh plays an emotional game, which we touched on. But it's just like, dang, like the way you're talking about him is grimy, knowing damn well he had no control or power over Rachel. Rachel was gonna send you in regardless because y'all have no connection.
But
So
to be honest, like what this season has really showed me is the difference between old school and new school play. Because old school was like, put me in the sand, I'll show what I got. New school is like, how many people can I hide behind
They're
to make to a final
scared.
and call myself a champion?
because they're CBS players.
Yeah.
They're CBS
Mm-hmm.
players.
I feel like a lot of the era 1 and era 2, they're aside from, like, the bananas and people, but era 1 and era 2 are very much like you express, throw me in the sand and I'll
Yeah.
fight my way to come back. And era 3 and era 4 are very much, let me get an alliance that's as big as a football field.
Yeah. And anyway, let's move on to the elimination. Not all new school hides. Yeah, not all of them for sure.
You're right.
Because they have no choice to. For example, Kylan, he cannot hide behind anything.
Kylan, Jenny, and Theo, I feel like at the end of the day are fine going down. The rest of those people, including the people left from Are You the One, they're scared.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, even like honestly, even like earlier people who left from Arrow 4, like even Nerys, Horacio, like they were not afraid of the sand. So there are
That
definitely
too.
new
Yeah.
school who are ready to fight.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
very much so
And
with the people that are still left there.
mm-hmm. But let's get into the elimination called Cable Connection Showdown. So the rules are players must untangle a bundle of tangled cords, looking like my setup right over here on the side that y'all can't see, and plug the cords into the corresponding outlet on a motherboard in order to light up a larger board with all 40 logos of the challenge seasons to date. The first player to correctly connect the plugs and press a button to light up all the 40 logos wins. And we start off the first heat. It is Kylan versus Devin. Oh, before we go into it, how did y'all feel about this? Like looking at it first thing, because some people thought they were like, oh, they're about to get electrocuted, something like that. What were y'all thinking?
I liked it. I didn't mind it. I thought, it didn't focus like on specifically just like strength, so I liked it.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't mind it either. I know that people were afraid it was going to be something where people are going to be electrocuted. I didn't get that sense. I was very interested on the outcome of the elimination, but I thought it was fine. Nothing crazy.
Yeah, I thought it was okay too. I was just like, oh, I wonder what it is. Okay. So Devin, at the start of this, he's taking things a lot much more slowly. That's a part of his strategy. So he says Kylan wants to ensure that he keeps moving. He's like, listen, I'm not gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going nonstop. To make sure that he's still moving even when he's met with resistance. And then Kylan gets everything untangled fairly quickly, and we see Devin still struggling to untangle the cords. Everybody's starting to look at Devin like, yo, Devin, what are you doing? Jordan was like, Devin's clearly overthinking. Tori's even wondering what the hell is going on. And I'm surprised. So then Kylan, eventually, he gets 34 out of the 40 plugged in right away. And Devin is still untangling the cords. Like,
Yeah.
Devin
I
didn't
was
know
surprised.
what he was doing. You know how everyone was asking, "What are you doing?" I don't think
Yeah.
he knew what he was doing.
I-
Like he was just
Yeah.
going way too slow.
I thought what Devin was probably gonna do was like, I'm not gonna untangle it all the way. I'm just gonna make it reach and then just try to like pull the cords all together and try to plug them in on the board. But I was just as confused as them, like, what is happening right now? And yes, he said Katya wasn't there. Why did I think immediately of Katya the drag queen from Drag Race? His
Thank-
cleaning lady. He said his cleaning lady wasn't there. Her name is Katya, and I thought of Drag Race. I said, Katya? Imagine Katya's ass being his cleaning lady. That would be hilarious.
hilarious.
Especially Katya's
Oh,
crazy ass. Oh my
man.
god.
No, but
Oh,
Devin totally flopped. Like, what a flop, man.
flopped.
I'm not gonna lie,
Ins-
I actually was very surprised. I was very, because I feel like eliminations like that is where Devin actually thrives, where it's not really physical, it's more kind of like maneuvering.
Mhm.
So it was
I feel like they set it up for Devin to win. He just
It's-
didn't win.
Right. And even
Ah.
Bananas, no, because Bananas commented on this. He said that they went through a similar elimination for vendettas
yeah.
against each other, and he beat Bananas in that elimination. So I do feel like they set it up for Devin to win, but Kylan beasted it.
Yeah.
I think he's just struggling or having a difficult time knowing that he is no longer the smartest person in the house. And
See,
it flustered him.
mhm.
Man needed humbling. That one win had his ego. Yes.
Yeah, definitely. So then we see Kylan moves things around, and then he gets 38 while Devin has 2. And when you see that Devin only has 2, you hear Laurel cackling in the background.
Oh,
And in that
loud.
moment, I was Laurel. She said, ha, 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 ha.
I'm not gonna
That
lie, I liked Laurel this episode.
Yeah, me too.
Oh.
Me too. I was like, okay, you're winning me over a little bit for this one episode though, because I don't know what's going on for the rest of the season. But she ate that one little thing, right? G. She ate that one little thing. Why she cackle so hard like that? Dang, she just like me for real. In that moment, not everything else. But that was hilarious. And so then Kylan obviously wins, and it's a blowout. Devin's like, dang,
Yeah.
it's over. It's over, my guy. And then you have Michelle and him having their little showman's moment. I said, please get them off the screen.
On to
I'm
the
over
next.
it. I'm through. So let's get to the real elimination matchup, which was Casey and Tori. Both Tori and Casey are moving fast. They're over here saying, I love you, brother, 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 brother. And then they know, based on what they saw, they need to move fast. Okay. And both of them were doing that. Casey untangles first. And then while Kylan is trying to help her, she said, please be quiet. Just shut the fuck up.
Yeah. She was like, quiet, please. But she did
Yeah.
she did throw in some I love yous. Okay.
To Tori, right?
No, I think to
Mhm.
Kylan. Because she had
okay.
no, I think it was to Kylan because she was like, quiet, please. She's like, I still love you, but quiet.
Oh yeah. They were,
Oh.
but Tori and her were going back and forth like during the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like just saying like little stupid brother things.
Yeah, brother. Anyway, so then Tori and Casey are neck and neck. It is a close race, as close as the race that we saw between Derek and Horacio, one might say, or even like last week's elimination when it came to Derek and Corey going against each other. It was just a very close race overall, and it was definitely a better showing than the men's heat. And then both pressed the buzzer, and both of theirs boards light up, all 40. But Tori wins because she actually pressed the buzzer before Casey. Which
I
I
don't
was
know
like,
why,
wow.
but I feel like Casey could have ran faster. She wasn't running fast enough. If she played
Well, she
football,
might have not realized that, like, that Tori had, because again, don't forget, like, the few times that Tori was clicking the buzzer, she was quite a bit behind Casey. Because I
yeah,
think
I
the
don't
first time she had
know.
like Tori had 24 and Casey had like 34 or
Yeah,
something. Like,
it was something like that. So
Hmm.
maybe she didn't
yeah.
think that Tori was gonna um have most of the lights up of the icons light up like that. But Tori turns out to be the victor of this elimination, and they have a moment. They're obviously upset that they went against each other because they have a very close relationship and friendship. But it is what it is. Oh, and I also want to mention, Tori mentioned Vacation Alliance likes to vacation. This is definitely them going into elimination is against their whole existence. And I said, oh, I'm
Clocking
glad
into
you're clocking.
work.
I'm glad you're
Yeah.
clocking yourself and your alliance again. Thank
Yeah.
you. Self-awareness. See, Tori, maybe this is the season of self-awareness for you. Um,
Hmm.
but as we see, Josh has like a little breakdown. He's upset, he's sad, he's crying that Casey's gone. He's really like, dang, like she's a close friend of mine, almost like a sibling to me, and she means so much to me. And then you have Casey talking crap about Josh and pretty much saying if she would have done something differently this season, she would have gotten control over Josh. And I was like, that's what
Like
you
he's
had
a
to
puppy
say?
or something. Like I didn't like the way that they were talking about him at all.
And again, like, that's your friend. Like, what do you mean get control of? Excuse me. Like, I
Get him
don't
under
know. Like, that
control.
was like real ugly to me. I was like, okay.
I was like, so again, you think that Josh is the reason why you're in the bottom, not because you failed at the challenge and got yourself in there and didn't make connections, even though you were the main
Exactly.
one, harping on Jenny not having any connections in the house. Funny how the tables turn, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
Devin is,
Vacation Alliance.
yeah, it was very, very weird of them to do that. So then we get to the twist, and Brandon, break the twist down.
So now we get to find out that every man and every woman are for themselves. But, they still get to represent their era. So try to rep that hard. But at the end of the day, it's everyone's game for themselves, which I'm excited about because I feel like when it's an individual challenge, we really get to see who stands out and who are fillers. So
Yeah.
what did you guys think about this twist? Are you happy that it finally came? Do you think it should have came earlier?
Yes.
I think with where we are with how many players, it was good timing. Like, I think it was pristine. Like, the fact that Rachel had won and now it went into individual, I think it was perfect timing. And yeah, like, it is definitely going to flip the game on its head. So every man for themselves, every woman for themselves. Let's go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we also see now with the targets that there's also a twist because with it being an individual game, the woman now gets to pick 3 men from any era, and it can be
Mhm.
multiple within that era. It can basically be anyone. And the men get to pick any of the women as well. So,
Mm-hmm.
do you want to get into the selections, Lena?
Wait, I have a
Yes.
comment about this real quick before we get into the selections. Do the eliminated players, do they typically stay there until the targets are chosen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just like, I don't know why I feel like them influencing the target picks I thought that was a little odd, but anyway, I'll continue. Sorry.
No, they do, because they always stay after to do the karma votes. So they have to stay for the new targets, and everyone leaves too. So, but yeah, so we have the new targets. Tori has to choose 3 men, and she heavily attacks Era too. She goes for Derek, Ryan, and surprisingly, to his surprise, Bananas. She calls him down as well. And we kind of see that Bananas isn't too happy about it. So he's like, game on. But she's trying to avenge her main bestie, Devin.
Who's not even
And
in
yeah.
the game.
Yeah, because Devin is over here like, light him up.
Yeah. Interesting. And then for the women, we have Kylan chooses Rachel. Okay. Aviv. Makes sense. And then he flips us on our head and he picks Jenny because she is backing Bananas. Ooh.
Ridiculous.
What did you guys? I was shook. I really did not think he would pick. I actually thought he was going to go for Kara, to be honest.
That's what I thought. I thought because he picked her before.
Surprised.
So
yeah. Honestly, Kara was surprised. Like she
was surprised too.
Yeah.
I just thought it was so
I think
weird.
because it's individual, he was like, okay, I could finally take my shot. But for some reason, they just don't like Jenny. I don't know why.
I don't know why. And I thought it was weird too, right? Considering that like Olivia and Michelle did Kylan so dirty on season 39. I would have thought he would have been like, oh, payback. Michelle, you're the target. Or Olivia, you're the target. You know?
But
and
I think maybe
with Theo.
Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's what stopped him. And obviously he knows that like Michelle, clearly since she's been up Vacation Alliance's ass, that she's protected by them as well. But I don't know. I just felt like I really thought Kylan would have picked Michelle, and I felt like it would have been warranted because of all the stuff that she put him through last season. I don't know. I'm just really surprised. And yeah, I'm kind of wondering like what is going on in the house with Jenny. That she is being thrown as a target like multiple times. Like, yeah, Jenny is a great competitor. Yes, we know she doesn't have the strongest connections. Like she has been off of the show for quite some time, but Jenny is a strong competitor. She beat everybody.
Yeah.
So it's like, why would you even set yourself up like that? Like I would have just, if I was Kylan, I would have said Michelle's name.
Honestly, like if I was Jenny, I would have woken up to this realization quite a few episodes ago, and I would have worked against my Era, to be honest. Just because, again,
I think she was over them in general. Like she really can't stand them.
Yeah.
But she was just cordial with them because they were helping each other win. Mm-hmm. But I think she's just annoyed at the fact that she keeps being chosen as a target, and now it's like blatant, like right in her face. So
yeah,
Kylan isn't as smart as people. Hey Genius, if you're a guy you want strong women, Jenny, Cara at the end to run with, it's layups like Olivia, Michelle you don't want, right? And granted, like they're not the most like typical layups either. I wouldn't call them layups, but I just feel like, why do you have this allegiance to them? Why not say Michelle and Olivia when they did you so dirty last season? Like you have a reason to throw them in there as a target.
Yeah, like Michelle and Kylan being super close is crazy. Like it's crazy. Yeah. Like she targeted you season 39, literally challenge after challenge after challenge. Like it's so crazy to me.
Yeah, I think Bananas obviously being a target, that didn't surprise me. Bananas should be a target every chance, in my opinion. I feel like, I don't know why he was so surprised, even though like, yes, I get it. He has a relationship with Tori, but are you surprised, bro? Like, come on now. Come on. But moving on from that, let's get into this. Well, if you guys have nothing else to comment about the episode, we're all good?
Yeah.
I'm
cool.
Good.
So let's move into the mid-season trailer, right? Which everybody, I hope you guys caught it. If you guys didn't catch it, they've been posting it all over social media. This looks great. What are some things that y'all saw in the mid-season trailer that y'all want to talk about? Because I know we talked about it briefly, but we see Derek C. He's about to pop off on somebody. I don't know who, but I hope.
I don't know who.
So ready for
AR,
it.
actually, yes. Thank you, AR. Thank you so much. Sorry. Karma points. Because we didn't see the karma points for most of the episodes, it feels like, or it's like every other episode. We see TJ introduce karma points to Casey and Devin. And we see that Casey pretty much gives the entire Vacation Alliance a 5, and she wants to set up Tori well, so she's trying to give everybody else lower points. She gives, I believe, Rachel 1 or 0. Yeah. She says 0. Devin, I think he says 0 about Rachel. And then he gives Josh 2 points, which I thought was insane.
Right.
I was like, why would you do that to your friend? Like, weird.
It was corny.
Like, you're that mad? You're that mad? And then he's like, oh, I'm gonna give Michelle 5. And, and Tori, I guess I would assume he gave her a 5 too. But I was just like, oh wow, like you are weird. So let's see that. Let's see how that comes about later on. Again, Josh, these people, they don't fuck with you like that. Like, it's a damn shame. You did all that for them, and look at how they playing you behind the scenes. Well, at least Casey didn't. You doing good, Josh. You on Mad Show.
Yeah,
well,
he's
in the trailer. In the trailer, there is a scene where Josh is like going like, "Oh, like I'm sick and tired of your attitude every time something." So I'm interested to see who he's talking to about when he's like walking. No.
Oh yes. I think maybe he's talking to Corey because him and Corey have gotten into it.
Maybe
multiple times. That's what I was thinking. I was like, maybe that's who's on the receiving end, or maybe it's Bananas.
Yeah, we see Michelle get into it with someone saying, I thought if that's how you call yourself a friend, so maybe her and Olivia get into it.
Oh yeah, Olivia mentioned something about receipts being shown. Again,
there's
Derek
more
is
Laurel Cara drama too.
More Laurel Cara drama because Cara calls her a manipulative person. We also see Tori, and it seems like Bananas get into it. We see Naya also realize that Naya's at the bottom of somebody's roster or totem pole. I don't know if that's Jordan because it looks like she was talking to Kylan. So I feel like it has to be Jordan.
Well, she did say that she's following this person blindly. So I think it is Jordan because
it has to be Jordan.
Yeah.
And then like we see Cara and Aviv at some point. We see Cara or Aviv kind of be involved in somebody's disagreement. I believe it's Bananas and somebody else with Michelle.
She's like, don't bring me up or whatever.
Yeah.
And then even Josh like tells Michelle, like, don't get me involved in whatever beef you have with Bananas. Like, that has nothing to do with me. So in general, it looks like the next half of the season, it's going to be great. I'm glad that it's an individual game. There seems to be a lot of drama that is going to be brewing these next few episodes. And I'm excited.
I mean, let's hope we actually see
it.
What we saw in the trailer.
Yeah, yes, like, I really hope production doesn't do these crazy edits that we've seen so far that like have, again, just we're missing backstories, we're missing actual like fights that are leading to tension in the house, which
yeah, I agree with that. Like, as we saw, we didn't see the fight between apparently Bananas and Tina, which was posted and plastered in all the trailers that they posted for the promotion of the show, but we didn't even get to see that clip. So I hope that's something that they don't do with what they've shown us so far, because it looks like tensions are going to be, running high, and I'm excited to see how these people are going to play individually. I'm excited to see some of these alliances crumble even more, like the Vacation Alliance. And people obviously find out who is really riding for them or not. But then again, can't keep my hopes up too high because we know production loves to disappoint us. So, we have been seeing that a lot of people have been going on each other's podcasts. Rachel did just go on Banana's podcast. I personally can't listen to it that much because Bananas just loves to cut off his guests and he loves to ramble and hear himself speak. But Rachel does seem to take control over the mic and such like that. She even knows that like everybody's praising her, or like she is that girl for getting the Vacation Alliance to dwindle and go against each other. She knows it very well, and I love that for her. She should be very proud of herself. And of course, like we've seen Bananas defend Laurel up and down. They even have a conversation about Michelle playing this game for Devin and Rachel pretty much saying like you gotta get the head of the snake while you can. And that Devin was the head of the snake of like the Vacation Alliance, or even like how he's been controlling Michelle's game or influencing her game. And Rachel's like, listen, like, and I love Michelle. I feel like she's much more capable and very intelligent to lead this game and play it well, but you can tell that he has like a sort of influence on her. I don't know what else. I didn't see like anything from like Zach's podcast. There's been a lot of beef going on social media. Jemmye versus Laurel has been very interesting. If you guys didn't know that was happening, pretty
Jemmye
much
for the win, man.
Yeah, pretty much for those that don't know, Zach had spoken about Laurel on his podcast, and I forgot who else was on, but not too long ago, Laurel was praising Zach's podcast and his growth, and all of a sudden, like, you know, Jemmye had called her out on it when that first came out, and then now that Zach was critiquing her and her game and how she's been doing stuff, she decided to like rant and pretty much say that Zach's podcast ain't shit. It has no merit. Like he's grown nothing. His opinion doesn't matter. I don't even know. There was just so many things. And Jemmye's like, that's interesting because back in March, you had all these nice things to say about Zach.
Yeah.
Funny how the tables turn.
What do they say? What's the saying? If you don't stand for anything, if you stand for nothing, you fall for anything or something.
I never heard that, but cool.
Yeah. Somebody
I think it's like if you don't stand for something, you fall for anything. I swear it's a saying, y'all.
Yeah, whatever. Well, we realized, yes, Laurel can't handle criticism.
If you know the saying, please put it in the comment, y'all.
Please put it in the comments for Lina because I can't save her. But yeah, what we realized, Laurel can't handle criticism. She is really having a hard time accepting.
I'm gonna cut you off, Keeks, because you're my girl. Thank you, girl. Oh, wait, we have it here. If you don't stand for anything, you fall for anything. No morals. Thank you, Dabu. See, y'all are real ones. Our comment viewers, y'all are real ones. I love y'all.
Y'all holding Lina down. I'm sorry, I just didn't know it. It's not that I didn't hear. I think I know what she was saying, but I couldn't quote her. I couldn't help her with the quote. Okay.
Period.
She's right. If you stand for nothing, you fall for everything. Thank you, Jolly. Thank you. Okay. Well, I kind of helped her. I kind of ended it like, dang. Anyway, back to Laurel being out of touch with reality, as Bloody Money said. Yes, she is very out of touch, and I don't mean to harp on Laurel. I don't want to be knocking her head and tugging on her hair all season long, but it seems like a lot of the drama is centered around Laurel and her attitude and her lack of self-awareness. Hopefully after seeing the season throughout, she can really reflect on how she's been coming across, but I don't think she really cares, y'all. So
yeah, she's one of those people that if you say anything bad about the way that she did something, blocked, rant, like, so
I think she
has her mind made up.
Yeah, I think she really is friends with people for her convenience. Like when it makes sense for her, she's got your back, and when it doesn't, she doesn't. Like, so It's sad.
Yeah, it is. But I am enjoying the season, y'all. Again, we're not at the halfway point, but to me, somebody had almost said, it goes back to Brandon's comment about her salary. Yup, she literally thinks she's beating the season, and that's why she slipped. Absolutely, for sure. I will say, like, people were making comments that they felt like 39 had more drama or it was getting a little stale. Personally, this season beats the last few seasons that we've had on the challenge, on the flagship show, in my opinion. I've been very entertained. I'm always looking to see if there's some drama going on in the Twitter streets or on Instagram, just because they're commenting heavy on certain things. Everybody's been pretty vocal. Oh, for those that don't know, since we also need to celebrate this, apparently Casey announced her retirement, or she's taking a break from the show. She's currently in Thailand in a retreat. And in that same post, her brother, Tori, commented stating that she is taking a break after this. Y'all, we won. We won. We are the winners.
We'll see.
I mean, I could
She
have
just
done
said
without Casey, but I think Tori, if it's a season break, sure. But I think Tori should be on the show. Just gonna say that. She is good.
Bye, Brandon. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
What? What is he talking about?
Be talking crazy sometimes. Not talking real. All right. You good?
First of all, I was saying,
come back with some
she
sense.
is
Did
a
you come
good
back with some
competitor.
sense?
She's a good competitor at the end of the day. I just don't like when she has her whole vacation alliance with her. I like to see her with her back against the wall.
Brandon, she hasn't had her back against the wall since her first season.
I was gonna say, name one time she had her back against the wall.
Yeah, I liked her first season, so it would be
that
nice
was how long
to
ago?
get that back. A little while ago, but still, that doesn't take away from the fact that, see, y'all be delusional because I think the hate.
How are we delusional?
All right,
because you both say Tori and
he needs a minute.
You know what?
Needs a minute.
At the end of
we
the
got
day,
a Tori stand on our podcast, guys. I did not know this. This is crazy.
At the end of the day, she still is a good competitor. So if she is, I like good competitors. Is all.
She is a good competitor. That we've never taken away from her. With Tori, like, let's actually see if she takes the break. You know, like she could have just said it. But you know, that appearance check could be real nice. So we'll see.
We shall see. But that is it, everyone. I have nothing else to say. If y'all have anything else y'all would like for us to comment on, please put it in the chat while we can.
Wait, hold on. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
G. Girl.
Oh, sis. We'll see, man. I don't know.
We got a few people agreeing with Brandon on whatever he is saying. It's just
whatever he is saying, okay? Listen, okay, if she comes back, she comes back, but I would kind of also like to see Tori without the Vacation Alliance for sure, and without Jordan in a season.
Same.
Yeah.
Same. I hate when people have significant others in the game. I'd rather just see them solo. Yeah. So that's why I'm also excited to see Michelle without Devin.
Yes.
Going forward.
Oh my gosh. Thankfully. And I'm just glad we don't see that again. You know, I don't need to see their relationship blossom on camera. So I'm sorry.
No, but you know, but it's funny you guys say that because we've seen Michelle though compete individually. It's not much better.
No, I know.
And it's not much better.
No. She is more of a, I feel like she's smarter when Devin is not there. I feel like right now she was like what we said earlier when she was like behind the Vacation Alliance and stuff. So it would be interesting to see her strategize more.
Yeah. I have a question for y'all. What would y'all like to see for 41 for those in the chat? For season 41, what are y'all hoping to see? Like, are y'all hoping to see some fresh meat type of thing? People that we haven't seen in a very long time. Like, it would be nice to get a new set of rookies, honestly, like very new set. I don't think we should see anybody that's been in the last few seasons, to be quite honest, or at least in my opinion. I think another fresh me would be cool. Battle of the X's, okay. Yeah, I want fresh faces. I'm tired of the same people. Tucker and Lisa from BB26. Oh, I don't know about Lisa because I think Lisa's gonna cry. She's too soft. Like, you saw, she started bawling because Angela called her a twit or something like that. I
I
don't
feel
think
like give
Lisa's
us
cut out for the show.
actual people that haven't been on reality TV. I don't need them
Yeah.
bringing in all these reality TV people. Just give us what they gave us on Fresh Meat and let it happen organically. Because I feel like
I
we'll
agree.
get good television.
I agree with that as well. I don't want anybody that's been on TV again, but I don't know what it's. I don't know if there's like some sort of contractual obligations for the challenge to only source people from other reality TV shows. I really have no idea, but I do think that it's time for them to find people that haven't been on these shows at all, any show. But we'll see. Michaela, Cassidy, Kyle, Alyssa, Kiki, Troy, some people from those spinoffs. Yeah, honestly, I really thought we would have saw Kiki or Michaela, but maybe Michaela didn't want to do it. I would have thought Kiki would have been on, considering she
What's
won.
the other guy's name from that season too? Oh my
Graham,
god, why am I blanking? No, the one who won on
Troy.
USA 2.
Oh, Chris. I think
Chris.
his name.
Yes.
Yeah, he would have been good.
Now, girl, Keeks is a Horacio fan.
No, I love Horacio. I do, but I feel like he also wants to take a break too. But who knows? Maybe he'll be back. I feel like they would love to have him back anyway. Like, they're setting up that story between him and Norris so well. Like, I feel like they'll gladly have him back. Take someone with like max 2 seasons and pair him up with a champ. Okay. Okay,
They
that'd
could
be
also
good.
do Battle of the Alliances. They could have Team Youngbug, Lavender Ladies,
Oh yes, you did
Oh,
the
mention
that
that.
would be
Vacation
cute.
Alliance, all and cap it at like
But
a certain amount per group.
yeah, I was gonna say they would have to cap it where like each alliance has the same amount of people, though.
But that would be
Okay.
interesting. The Mean Girls, like
Oh yes,
something.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, celebrities versus champs. Listen, I would have loved to see Luis and Casper make it to an actual flagship season from champs versus pros or stars or whatever. They were amazing on their season. Like, I felt like
They need to
they
bring her
didn't.
back.
Yeah, Luis. Oh, she was so good. And Casper,
She was
he really
great.
gave no fucks, but he's too busy. I think he's the choreographer or one of the choreographers for Nicki Minaj's tour.
Yeah.
So maybe
I
he's
think
too
so,
busy
yeah.
with that. But they would have been great on the show. I felt like, oh man, missed opportunities, or maybe they just didn't want to do it after dealing with champs versus pros. But if we have nothing else to talk about, thank you guys so much. Oh, Jolly said something. Hold on, real quick. Taylor Hale mentioned in a tweet that the BB contract is a 2-year Paramount Global contract. House guests look to the challenge because it's one, if not the only, reality show within Paramount for sure that pulls people that have already been on TV. Yes, yes. I remember seeing that. She did mention that to GamerVev. I'm pretty sure she said that in a response. And I would love to see Taylor, but she won't do the show, and that's fine. She just feels like it's not
She
her
doesn't
vibe.
need it.
She doesn't need the show anyway. But thank you guys so much for tuning in and for engaging with us. It's been so much fun talking with y'all. Hope y'all had a great evening with us. We're gonna cut this because we're at an hour and a half. But make sure to hit that like button, share, comment, and subscribe. Please, 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 please leave a comment. Whatever it is, if it's you disagreeing with us, agreeing with us, calling us out, whatever the case may be, we will accept it. Just keep it cute. Keep it a little cute, okay? Because we might reply back, and sometimes we gotta tug a little back on y'all. But in general, please follow us at Reality Unloaded Pod on Instagram and Reality Unloaded Podcast on TikTok, and be on the lookout for more show coverage. We're trying. It's been a lot for us. It's been a busy season. But thank you guys so much for the love and support. It's really been so great seeing y'all come in here and always having so many of y'all talk to us. It gets a little overwhelming, but we're working through it. And thank you for joining still, Lauren. Even though if you came late, it doesn't matter. Thank you for showing up for us. I've seen you in other lives too, for like with Reality Realness, I believe, and other shows. So thank you guys so much for showing us love. And have a great evening, everybody. And if you're drinking, happy Thirsty Thursdays. Bye. Oh, wait. Gen Z heart.
Millennial for life.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.